You know the vibes. Welcome back to another episode of the Hoop Genius podcast brought to you by NBA 2K25. It is myself, Mo Mooncey, alongside me, Detroit's very own Mr.
Ah,
BJ Armstrong. What up, though? What up, though?
hey.
What's that
You
sweatshirt say,
know,
B? What's that sweatshirt
you
say?
know what? No, this is everyday attire. Don't get this twisted. Don't get it twisted.
Detroit versus everybody.
Don't get it twisted. First of all, I just want to say this. Mo, our job here is to tell it like it is.
Always.
And I know there's a lot of, chit chatter on the social media about, the older guys are always going after this generation. I want to thank this generation for the commitment to excellence about the game of basketball. These playoff games have been so entertaining, Mo, that I, I'm 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 in love. I'm back in love with the game again.
Feel that. BJ, it's
No,
6 in the
I,
morning here.
no, and I mean this. I want to make sure because this is the NBA mode that we've all been missing. So as we tell it like it is. I want to say this by name: Adam Silver, Mark Tatum. Job well done. The competitive conflict is back. These players, Mo, have been playing such fantastic basketball since the playoffs have begun. These first two games, Mo, have been sensational. That Clipper Denver series,
I need 7 games of that.
I,
I need it.
Mo, Kawhi Leonard, Kawhi Leonard, Mo,
Oh, we can get to that. We can get to
is
that.
going toe to toe with Jokic.
We're gonna get to that.
The Detroit New York series, Mo, is so amazing.
Oh,
And
we
again,
back.
these players, Mo, have been fantastic. And I want to say this too to the referees, incredible. They've been allowing the game, Mo, to be played so physical that I love it. Mo, I'm so I haven't I haven't watched or the game like this. It's been a long time where I'm saying I'm watching every play. The physicality, there's no more flopping.
Oh, there
There's just
is.
no
There
but,
is. Jalen Brunson and Nikola Jokic put on a flopping masterclass tonight. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. There
no,
was some egregious flopping going on tonight.
I'm getting ahead of myself because Mo, I saw some defense, Mo, like I haven't seen in about 15, 20 years. I love it. So the referees, outstanding. The league office, outstanding. And a big outstanding to the players who are performing. I love it. This is great. I can't recall, Mo, how how many little skirmishes did we see? Have we seen?
Hey,
It- it-
I'm here for
oh,
more.
this is fantastic. Okay, so I just want to say that and I say we appreciate this generation for playing like this. Well, this makes me feel so happy that the game is such in a good the game is in a good space. When I see the players playing like this, Mo, I go, this is the NBA. This is what it's all about, and this is how you play.
Absolutely.
This is what makes this game the most unique game in the entire world. It's a brand of basketball that can only be played here, refereed like here, okay? And it takes a certain amount of understanding to play this level of game. The younger players are getting adjusted, but the older players, they're thriving. And I love every second of it. So before I just wanted to say that before we get started. So let's talk about these games because we have a lot to talk about in Detroit. We
Bro.
have a lot to talk. Mo, you don't know how much restraint, Mo, it took me not to call you.
No, I know. I
But
know.
I just wanted to save
I
it. I
wanted
just
to,
wanted to save
but
it.
I thought about it and I thought I wouldn't even pick up the call because I want to save it for the show. But what I
Okay.
wanted to say just adding on to the nice little monologue you started the show with. It's 6 in the morning here, BJ. And I do this every day. Regular season, playoffs, even in the off season, I'll find a way to watch old games. Some days I'm here at 6 in the morning and the sun's come up and I can hear the birds chirping. And I just think, what am I doing in my life?
Right,
You ever be watching the league pass? You're watching the old Sacramento Kings versus the Charlotte Hornets. You think, what the hell am I
right.
doing? Now it's a new era in Sacramento, but we ain't going to get into that. But nights like tonight make it all worth it. Two unbelievable games, and we're going to break them down for you here on the Hoop Genius podcast. Starting in the Eastern Conference, a gritty battle between the New York Knicks and the Detroit Pistons. Game two in New York. The series is now tied at one apiece as the Pistons managed to hold off the Knicks run in the fourth quarter and come away with the win on the road. Absolutely astounding from this young group led by Cade Cunningham. 33 points, 12 rebounds in this one for Cade. He put on a superstar performance. Let's not get it twisted. He played like a superstar tonight. He was in Madison Square Garden and he was the best player on the court. I loved every single thing I saw from Kay Cunningham in his performance for the Pistons tonight. And they were without Beef Stew, right? They were without Beef Stew. I got a little nervous. Okay, you're missing your best backup big. Paul Reed comes off the bench. He gives you some nice minutes. You didn't quite get the shooting that you got in game one. It's quite astounding that Tim Hardaway Jr. went 0 of 3 from behind the arc. Kay Cunningham 1 of 4 behind the arc. Tobias Harris 1 of 4 behind the arc. Osar and Jalen Duran didn't even attempt one. Malik Beasley 1 of 8 from behind the arc, right? So you hit 6 3-pointers in the entire game and you still managed to win. Shout out to the Pistons. Give me the breakdown, BJ. What do you see from your Detroit Pistons?
Mo, I think they received the memo. They played 36 minutes of Piston, Piston basketball. And the last 12 minutes, you saw they had a little lapse there. It was a big lapse in game one. Clearly, they went back, watched the film, and Mo, they were right back in the same position going into the fourth quarter. I think they were up 9 going into the fourth quarter. And they withstood the challenge. And it all started on the defensive end. Give them credit. I just love it, Mo. New York and Detroit, two of my favorite cities here in North America. And how about it, Mo? I mean, when you say Detroit, this team represents the city of Detroit. And then to have a young group like this perform in the world's most famous arena, just amazing. Now, let's put this out here in the universe. Cade Cunningham is a star.
Oh, we know this.
Well,
We know this. And now the world knows this.
Let's stamp it. We're gonna confirm it. This
Hoop
young man
Genius
is
official.
He's a star. He's earned it. He has showed it. The lights aren't too bright for him, and he can finish a game from start to finish. The man is a star. Okay. I love who this Pistons team has become. They represent us in every way. And Mo, I'm going to say this right now. Whoever wins game 3, they're going to win the series.
BJ, let me ask you this. You're talking about going to the Lakers game to see what happens in game 2 against the Timberwolves.
Yes.
But at what point are you going to go back to Detroit to see the Pistons?
It's
Are you going to be there for game 3 or 4?
It's early in the process, Mo. It's early in the process. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves.
I don't know. If I was you, I'd be putting up for game 3 and 4.
Well,
I ain't even gonna lie.
That's fair. I'm going to go. I'm going to go to game 3 because I got to do a little work. I want to take
in Detroit.
in LA. I'm going to the game
game 2 in
tomorrow.
LA.
Yeah, game 2. I'm going to the game with a particular purpose. I want to make sure that myself, along with Isaiah Collier, are sitting at the game to dissect the game. And we'll make sure we can watch what's really going on out here. Not from a fan perspective, but here's a teachable moment for a young player to have an opportunity to say, this is why the 82 games matter. Mo, I sit here and I tell you this, why the 82 matter, because there's a difference between the regular season and now, and to let a young player see why the summer matters,
Hmm.
why training camp matters, why every call matters, and to understand how difficult it is, but more importantly, to be able to see the excitement, the energy that's in the building, and how you play every possession at an elite level where there are all-star level players on the floor. So I'm going to go to the game tomorrow with, my young guy so we can see that, so he can see that, so he can understand his why of why it's important to train now so that next year, this time, you and I can pull up to the game to watch him play. That's why it's important. So,
Jazz gonna trade him because I don't see them in the playoffs next year unless they get
well,
booted
hey,
back.
hey, 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 Mo, I sat here last year and I sat here with the Pistons and watched them lose 28 games in a
But
row.
even you didn't think they'd be in the playoffs this season.
Oh, Mo, I did. Oh, yeah, hey, Mo. Oh, yes, I did. And
Anyway,
you know I
anyway,
did.
anyway.
And you
Before we
know
say
I
too much,
did.
let's
No,
keep it
no,
moving.
we're not gonna say everything, but you know I did.
Okay.
Is that
But
fair?
yeah. But here's a question for you:
Yes.
Detroit are without their best defensive big in Isaiah Stewart, right? So you're
Mhm.
looking at this matchup from a New York perspective now. Tell me why Carl Anthony Towns finishes the game with 10 points, doesn't take a shot in the final 18 minutes of the game. They traded for him at the start of the season, and yet they failed to utilize him in the correct way. And I understand it's the playoffs, you want to have the ball in the hands of your best player. But at some point, you've got to generate some offense other than Jalen Brunson, isolations, trying to bait fouls from the ref.
I don't know that. I was surprised he only played about 33, 35 minutes or somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing. Okay. I don't know. I don't know why they went away from him. I think Mitchell Robinson played about 20 minutes.
Yep.
I'm guessing because of the way the game, they were down big. They were down what, 14, 15 points? And they were down because of the penetration and how effective they were with Cade Cunningham. I mean, Cade Cunningham was getting downhill. So I'm going to assume that Thibodeau or Tom went away from him because of he saw something in the defense or matchups that he didn't like. Now, I don't know why. I don't know if there was an injury or something. We didn't know. Maybe he was back or something we don't know about. Tom basically played 4 out of his 5 starters, 40 plus minutes. And I don't know why Carl came out. I don't know why Cat came out. I don't know that. But I'm sure that's a question that the New York media will have. I expect him to be able to play in a couple of days here, 40 plus minutes to answer that question, but that's okay. This was another hard fought game. And they needed Brunson. I mean, Brunson, what he seemed like he
37.
played in. Yeah, he
He
played the
played
entire
44
game.
minutes. He played
Yeah,
44
40.
minutes, yeah.
That's a lot of minutes. These
And
minutes are going to
it's
add
not
up.
just the minutes that he's playing, the physicality with which the Pistons are guarding this man. That is like for some players playing a lot of minutes. Okay, cool. You're Tobias Harris. You played 43 minutes tonight. Okay, cool. But you're Jalen Brunson. They're picking you up full court. They're hounding you. You could tell that really getting under his skin a little bit now. That's going to be tough if this series goes long. I mean, I kind of felt bad for Osar getting fouled out in this. Um, a couple of those foul calls definitely were not fouls. Jalen Brunson does a great
Well,
job of
he's a young
embellishing
player.
calls. And
That's what I'm saying. Mo, this is why it's important for these young people to play and learn because Asar Thompson is an elite athlete, elite defender already.
mhm.
But you can see, Mo, like it takes time. It takes time. And now I love the fact that the referees, hey, they're not blowing the whistle. They're not calling all of these little touch fouls. You know, fouls that are normally called in the regular season aren't being called now.
Hmm.
Okay, so this is great. Um, we have another game, and whoever wins that game 3, Mo, I'm going to say going to win the series. We are at home. We should be feeling good. Our fans will come out. They're going to be out now.
First playoff win since 2008.
Absolutely,
It-
and we should be feeling good. However, the work is not done. We must defend home court
Absolutely.
because this was a very tough win, hard fought win, well deserved, played at an elite level, but you got to defend home court now.
Hmm.
And that's a big
And
task.
I know it's going to be rocking in there. Those
Oh
those fans have been
man.
deprived of playoff basketball.
Oh man. Mo,
It's
it's
not
good.
quite the Palace of Auburn Hills, but I'm sure it will do for now.
Uh,
Um, Remember the other day on the show, I said something and you said that's a big statement and you didn't want to have anything to do with it. Do you
which
remember what I
is,
said?
I have no idea.
I said when Kawhi Leonard is healthy, he's the
Oh
best player in the
gosh.
series.
Oh man. Yeah, hey,
And
hey,
nights like tonight are why I
hey,
made that statement. 15 of 19 from the field on his
hey,
way to
hey,
39 points as the LA Clippers went on the road in Denver to win game 2 and tie the series at one game
hey.
apiece. It was a masterclass from Kawhi Leonard. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't.
Let me remind everyone of this. You know, Mo, I'm going to start it off just how you started off. When he's healthy,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard might be the best player in basketball when he's healthy. Okay, and I'm and Mo, and it doesn't matter who's on the floor now.
So now
eh,
you're
eh,
on
eh,
board with my big statement.
well, Mo, I've never ever argued. I've never ever argued about him when he plays. The issue is you got to call it like we said. He's had some injuries that Mo. I mean, what can you do? Now, you know what's amazing? He's had some Mo. These aren't like little injuries, a calf or you know a strained, whatever something. I mean, Mo, he's missed a substantial amount of time. He needs to be studied, whatever kind of rehab he's doing mentally, because Mo, you wouldn't know it by looking at him.
Mhm.
Mo, you would not know it that he missed a substantial amount of the season this year. And Mo, his conditioning is unreal. His shot making ability is unreal. And he plays on the defensive side of the basketball. I mean, Mo, he's just elite. He's just an elite player. So, knock on wood that he could stay healthy and we can be treated. I mean, this is a treat to watch him. I
Mhm.
mean, when you say a master class, young people, just watch him. Just watch him. He is his shot making mode is he was doing this against Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon
Aaron
is
Rodgers is a real good defender.
he's a good defender and an elite athlete.
Hmm.
And this guy, Kawhi Leonard, is shooting over the top of him, making it look easy. Okay. Amazing game, start to finish, big play after big shot. And it was, again, Kawhi Leonard not only doing it on the offensive end, but defensively.
The
He
claw.
made every play. I mean, he is a machine. And I just hope he can stay healthy. I really do, because
Yes.
I just love watching him play. It's a treat. I mean, he is a master at what he does and what he provides on the floor. And I just hope he can stay healthy. And if he can stay healthy, Mo, we might be in for a real surprise this year.
Hey, well, everyone heard your bracket prediction. You got the Clippers going a long way in this one. So,
Oh
so
yeah,
hopefully
yeah,
he
yeah.
stays healthy. I want to shout out Chris Dunn as well. Amazing impacts on the
Yeah.
defensive side of the basketball
Bravo.
as well. Huge for them. Norm Powell, he kind of struggled a little bit, but he made some big shots down the stretch. James Harden added in 18. Ivica Zubac, another double-double, doing what he does. And you know what's pretty nice is Ben Simmons. I've made plenty of
Yeah.
jokes at the expense
Thank
of
you.
Ben Simmons,
Thank you.
right?
Thank
But
you.
to see
Thank
him
you.
back on the court and impacting the game of basketball in a playoff
Yes.
setting is something that no one would have thought of just 12 months ago.
Yes.
Everyone thought his career was done. Shout out to Ben Simmons for getting back.
And can we give another shout out to Russell Westbrook as
I
well?
was just going to get onto the Nuggets. Russell Westbrook, second game in a row. He gets the most criticism and the most unjust criticism out of any player in the NBA outside of maybe Jason Tatum. And once again, he proved that he's a winning basketball player. He makes winning plays. On the offensive end, he's not a great three-point shooter. However, he's not afraid to shoot the 3-point shot. He shot 50% from three tonight, hit some huge ones, as he did in game one, crashing the offensive glass, disruptive on defense. Russell Westbrook does everything you want in a player. So all the people out there who hate on Russell Westbrook, watch the games, please. I implore you, watch the games and understand what this man does, giving 110%. Even though the Nuggets lost the game tonight, he was making a valuable difference for that team. Nikola Jokic finished with another triple double, 26, 12, and 10. But he was very uncharacteristic in this one. 7 turnovers in the game. A couple other decisions. I think there was one play where they got the offensive rebound and he must have not registered that the shot clock had reset and he just kind of chucks the ball in the direction of the basket. There were some uncharacteristic plays from Jokic tonight, which I've not seen
Well, wait a
in a very
minute.
long time.
He wasn't perfect like he is every other
This
night.
is the standard of excellence that he set for himself.
I mean, the guy makes one mistake and it's like Mo, he's perfect, 99.9% of the time.
That's why it's uncharacteristic. That's how good he is. We have become normalized to the level of excellence that he brings on a nightly basis. Therefore, when he makes a decision or makes a mistake that is not something he would usually do, it is shocking. It is absolutely shocking.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay. I'll go with it.
Imagine there's a DJ who mixes perfectly for every set they play for their entire career. But one night you're in the club and he messes up the mix. You're going to think, is he feeling all right tonight? Like, is he okay? Like, I never heard him mess up a mix before. That's what it is with Jokic. That's how good he is. Right.
Okay. All right.
Michael Porter Jr. bounced back from a not so great game one. He was doing really well attacking the offensive glass. He had 6 offensive rebounds. He finished with 15 points, hitting some shots. Jamal Murray, I think he was recovering from the flu or some sort of illness. He started the game wearing a long sleeve tee under his jersey. He finished with 23 points. Christian Brown picked up fouls early in this one. He finished with just 5 points for them. The fouls really made a difference to their normal rotation pattern. But looking at this game, it was another close game. It could have gone to overtime again for the second game in a row. How are you looking at this series? Because I'm expecting this one to maybe go the full 7 games, the way that you can't really separate these two teams right now.
Would you talking about the Dallas, the Clippers Nuggets?
Dallas, they ain't nowhere near the playoffs anymore.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
You've been watching too many Nico Harrison press conferences.
Yes.
And by the way, Nico Harrison, please stop doing the press conferences. The trade is done. It can't be undone. You are going to gain absolutely nothing from doing more interviews. Please just stop it. I'm tired of hearing about it. Nothing good is, you're not going to say anything good that will change anyone's mind. Please, Nico Harrison, stop the press conferences, go to Cancun like everyone else, and then come back and we'll go again next season. But anyway, sorry.
I don't think this is going to go 7. I don't think it's going to go 7. And the reason being is because, when you look at the depth of the Denver Nuggets, with the exception really of Russell Westbrook, I don't know who else they're going to really go to. Okay, and I expect this bench to be shortened when they go to LA. All right. I just don't see them playing anyone more than 10 or more minutes with the exception of Russell. Now, as this goes on, I don't know the bounce back. They're saying there's some reports out there that Aaron Gordon may not be at full strength. Jamal Murray, and you're just, you got to play Jokic basically
48.
40,
You got to play
48
48 because,
48, yes.
like, for example, in this one, they were leading. Was at the end of the first, end of the second, whatever. They were leading. He takes a couple minutes rest to start the next quarter, and the lead just disappears.
Yeah. So I think this team, they understood the gravity of what they needed to do in Denver, which was to win both of these games, to give themselves a little cushion because they're top heavy right now.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're going on the road. They have to get one of these, Mo. I mean, they don't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I just think that's a lot for this team to overcome. Even with Jokic, I think this is a lot to overcome because they don't have the depth and they must play, basically mistake-free basketball. Now, I think the bench of the Clippers, they didn't put up a lot of numbers tonight, okay? But I think they will probably be better at home.
Yeah, we see that in the
And
playoffs every year. The role players are
yeah,
always better at home.
yeah, and if they get double figures from someone off the bench, okay, we know Kawhi Leonard gave them the big game. James Harden is capable. Norm Powell is capable. Zubac is capable. Okay, and then they get double figures. Then well, I think they run away with this. So I expect the Clippers to finish this 5 or 6. I don't
Hmm.
see it going 7. But as I told you after the game, even when they lost game 1, I thought the Clippers were going to bounce back and win game 2. I thought they had a chance to win this game big, but they won it, and now they'll head back to Clipper Nation and try to win 2 there. So, but this is going to be a hard fought. The Denver Nuggets are going to fight. We know that, but I just think the Clippers' depth is going to be hard for the Denver Nuggets to overcome.
Well, speaking of depth, Bruce Brown was in town for the game tonight. Former Nugget won a championship with them before going off and getting paid. But reportedly, he was in the Nuggets locker room after the game, going around showing support to his former teammates. So maybe Bruce Brown signs there over the summer and he's back in a Nuggets
It
uniform next year. But
would be a nice they need players. They need people like him off the bench. Those are the type of players you need, you appreciate, and he was a huge part of why they won the first championship. So give them credit, give the Nuggets credit, give Bruce Brown. I think he had to do what he had to do for obvious reasons, but he had found a home there in Denver for sure.
yeah, well, tonight we have to look forward to the Milwaukee Bucks and the Indiana Pacers. Damian Lillard may play in that game. Have you got a prediction for that one after the Pacers won game 1?
Um,
I got the Pacers
I
taking it.
I yeah, I don't think that's enough, and I'm not
Could
getting into that.
speaking of the depth of the Nuggets, the depth of the Bucks is also pretty
Yeah,
horrendous. You
yeah.
know,
I'm just I mean I think I'm just happy to hear that he is on the road to recovery because you
yep.
don't know how those turn out. So if he can play, great. I'm not expecting much. I know he's a great player, one of the top 75, but I'm not. I just don't think when you enter into a playoff series, especially as a guard, I think that's hard, and I
Especially
think
with a
it's really
team like
hard.
Indiana who runs a lot. Like they're a
Yeah, so
fast-paced
I'm
team.
I'm not I'm not expecting much, but it's nice for him to get back on the court.
Yeah, we'll see if Kyle Kuzma can put up more than 0.0000 across the stat line. The Memphis Grizzlies going to try and avoid getting swept by the OKC Thunder as they go into game 2
No,
after.
how about just cutting it under 50? That's all I'm expecting.
Yeah. Just
That's
a
it.
40-point loss will do for you guys in Memphis.
Yes, it's an improvement, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, then game 3, lose by 30. Game 4, lose by 20. Go to Cancun, enjoy your summer. But then the game you're going to be at, the Minnesota Timberwolves and the LA Lakers. Do you think that the Timberwolves are going to go in there and win game 2 on the road and really scare some people? Because I know a lot of LeBron fans are telling me, oh, LeBron always uses game 1 as a feel out game and this and that. And I said, okay, cool. How are you going to feel out not having rim protection? How are you going to feel out your defense collapsing every time Anthony Edwards drives? How are you going to feel out, even though the Timberwolves shot the ball fantastically in game 1, all those guys shoot like 38% or above. How are you going to feel out magically praying they miss shots? What is there to feel out in this?
Well, what I'm looking for the Lakers is to meet the physicality of the game. That's what I'm looking.
Yeah, stop crying to the ref. No names mentioned.
Okay, I'm looking for them to meet the presence of the game. Okay. Now the best athletes are on the Minnesota side, so the Lakers are going to have to control tempo. The Lakers are going to have to play basically a game where they're going to have to execute in the half court. I don't think they can get in a track meet with this team, and they nor do they want to. I don't think they are a more physical team. So I think the Lakers are going to have to control tempo, control the pace of the game, and really take care of the ball. I think they're going to be very opportunistic when they run and when they choose to run their offense. So I'm looking for them to really play a game where they're going to try to get good shots every time down, limit their turnovers, and you know what? And try to limit this team to one shot on the offensive end. So if they don't do this, if they don't do that tomorrow night, they could easily go down, 2-0. And I'm expecting the Minnesota Timberwolves to go for it. I'm really expecting them to go for it. Now, what I don't want them to do is to come out and settle for 3-point shooting because you're not going to shoot 50% from three every night.
Yeah.
Take that ball to the basket, force his team to defend, and then come out there. And when you have an opportunity to, close the game, close the game. So I think the most important thing for the Minnesota Timberwolves is not to, get caught up in, just settling for 3-point shots. Just don't settle.
Mm-hmm.
Just come out, play your game, do what you're supposed to do, and but more importantly, just come out there and play your brand of basketball. I think right now they should feel like they're the better team. Okay. And if you have an opportunity to win 2 games, you came for one, but if you can win 2, take care of it. So we'll see. It should be a good game, but I'll be there tomorrow.
Absolutely. Are we going to get a podcast tomorrow? How's that going to work?
Well, I will be available. I may not be available video, but I will be available. I will
We're
be
gonna have to figure
available.
it out. We're gonna have to
Yeah,
figure
we'll
it
have to
out. If you
figure.
could be
Yeah,
in your
well,
reader, if you could be the
yeah,
car. I don't know how
yeah,
we can get that. And
yeah,
then,
yeah.
and then, and then our man Scotty P's got his introductory press conference tomorrow, so he ain't gonna be up late, ready to do the
Yeah,
show.
so yeah,
So,
yeah. So yeah, I'll be available. I will be available. So we'll figure it out.
yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But anyway, you guys got to subscribe to the show, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast from, for these daily breakdowns of the NBA playoffs as the playoffs continue to roll on. We will be here. I will be here every day. BJ will try and be here every day. And this I can't say how much enough I enjoyed tonight's games. I can't say
Bravo,
that enough.
bravo, bravo. And Mo, we're back. The NBA is back. We're smiling. We're happy. Hey, you know what, Mo? Hey, it's okay, Mo. I like I like the physical play. I
Hmm.
like the lack of calling fouls.
Hmm.
Playing through contact.
If only
And
they could do like this for the entire NBA season, maybe more
hey,
fans would tune in.
hey, I'll be there. Hey, Mo. You know what my new slogan is? I'll be watching.
We can get you a better slogan than that. Come on,
Hey, Mo,
come
that's my
on, man.
slogan. I'll be
Big brother,
watching.
always watching, always watching. Well, until next time, you know the vibes. Get buckets.